Pranam, Rajivji. My name is Sumant. To be brief, if I ask this question as somebody who's wanting to commit himself to Swadeshi Indology, right? If I have to do a BTech in computer science, I know what I need to do. But to understand where do I fit in and what are the steps I need to take to proceed in Swadeshi Indology.
See, because I don't know your background.
No, I'm not asking a specific question, but in a
He just
generic
wants to know what
sense,
does one...
What does a person, not you?
not me.
So you must, we need to create institutions we don't have. We need to create, and I'm working on something I cannot announce, but I'm trying to get some alliances with some important people. Maybe it'll work. If it works, I will be so happy. That could be a game changer and a big breakthrough. But we need to create a kind of Swadeshi Indology University. And this has to have both the sacredness, the guru influence, the people who are doing it should be committed, they should be practicing the lifestyle, they should be experiencing all the things that our tradition offers. And yet, at the intellectual level, they should have all the rigor at the intellectual level. They should, besides studying Sanskrit and Sanskrit texts, they should know good English. They should be able to read English, deconstruct, analyze, argue. And then they should practice with teams. You know, the Dalai Lama in a talk was saying that in the Buddhist tradition, when you were going through the traditional learning for 12 years, you would every day you'd have to do debate. So in the courtyard, debating courtyard, you have to go join one team and they are debating the other team. And your job is to first study the other's position very thoroughly, take you many days or weeks to study their position. Only when you can satisfy the people that you have understood the opposing position, only then are you allowed to start critiquing it and giving a response. That's how much rigor this Purva Paksh system taught. So I would like this thing not to be on, you know, we had this Pushpak Viman and we invented this zero and this kind of stuff. I want it to be, okay, we did that. That can be one introductory class, put it aside. Now we got to get on with real work. I would want that such a university should be a place where we actually take major thinkers of the West, understand them and be able to give response to them, and then actually invite those guys and have debates with them. Because they are interested, but it's just that we don't have a team. Who will take them on? So this Swadeshi Indology will be very practical. It will also catch what I call digestion going on, which means that they're appropriating our knowledge, taking it from Shastras and from practices, and nobody from India is a watchdog looking at it. They're taking all kind of knowledge, repackaging it, changing the vocabulary and terminology, calling it their own original discoveries, and selling it back to us. So a lot of Indian knowledge is being siphoned off and pilfered. So this kind of Indological system would also be vigilant and critical of that and tracking that and giving responses to that. So this would require a whole university structure. I mean, it's not a small project. And I mean, I don't think I don't know anybody in the government who got this vision. I don't know one. I mean, maybe they're very smart guys secretly doing all this, but I don't know any theory. You see? So this requires funding. This requires career paths. We have to create career paths so that such people get good jobs. And they can be, if they are well qualified, they should be welcome in industry because they'll bring a new research perspective also. They should be leading in the humanities. They should be advisors to foreign affairs people so that our diplomats overseas are not looking like fools. Often our diplomats have got zero knowledge about our civilization, and it's a very big embarrassment when one of them opens his mouth. Because they really don't. They really don't. I mean, I was surprised when Chinmaya Mission celebrated the 50th anniversary some years back. I don't want to name names. The ambassador comes to be one of the chief guests or something. And he's so apologetic about not knowing anything. I'm sorry, but why you invited me? I don't know any of this. I mean, I just felt very embarrassed. Why is he even here then? So no pride of any of this in our external affairs kind of people. So this is, and then there is in Delhi a Foreign Services Institute. When you join the IFS, before they post you, you go for several months of training, you live there. So the director of that invited me to give a talk. So I gave a talk on what is different about our civilization compared to the West. The young people there, it's very interesting, half of them just loved it. They came to me afterwards and they just loved it. They'd never heard it before, and it was so good that somebody is saying it and this is their feeling inside. They kept it quiet. They wanted to speak, but they couldn't, and somebody is coming and speaking like that. The other half were very angry at me. They were all this, no, but when you go overseas, one guy said, I don't think I can represent this kind of pride you are saying. I would rather talk about the oppression of the Dalits. So I said, you're going to be an ambassador one day? That's at least 50% of them were like that. So you see, we have serious problems, and if we could create this Indological, Swadeshi Indological stuff, it would have value in many departments, many kinds of job market areas in our country.